This video is intended to be a bite-sized review of today's Minecraft Bedrock Texture Pack. We're in my world-famous armory save to showcase the design of every block, every armor and weapon piece, a majority of items, and favorite Minecraft mobs. To see the full in-depth review, click the link in the description or head to my main channel and watch the full video. But if you enjoy this bite-sized showcase, hit the like button, comment support down below, and subscribe to this bite-sized channel to keep the content coming. Right then, so we're in the armory world for the Flareful Texture Pack, and we're going to be taking a look at pretty much every block as we go and do this flyover and talk about whatever jumps out at me. And basically, I've added in a lot more stuff. So I've added in all of the Copper Age editions. This pack is not updated for the Copper Age. It is updated for Chase the Skies. Being updated in September means it just missed the Copper Age, unfortunately. We've got some really nice Ender Dragon head and Ender Dragon egg as well. So I like that. And we get that harsh artistic style in places. I mean, you can see it a lot here for like words like TNT on the side, where it just really emboldens and feels a bit difficult to look at. You can see though that they've definitely colored and cleaned and brightened a lot of things to make it their own. And as we go through here as well, we can see how the ores look. We can see how the world would generate with stuff. We can also see how precious blocks and ingots all would look. And then we've got all of the copper stuff. So obviously copper blocks, the gratings and stuff like that would have been updated, as you can see by the harsher tones in the shading. But then for the copper chests, well, either that's been updated or it just fits in. How have they done that? I didn't think that this was done. That's interesting. That's not how a copper chest looks in. I mean, I've only really experienced Copper Age in actions and stuff. I'll leave that to you guys to decide. Has that been updated? I'd be surprised if it has. We've also got the glass here as well. Some good color on there. We've got the armor stand with the nice unique design element. And we've got the bundle here. I like that little eye design. It's just a nice little characteristic for it. And then you've got all the colored stuff here as well for the beds, the wool, the carpets, the candles. We'll see how they all look. Good consistency. I mean, it looks copy and paste. They've not really tried to make any of the different color sets unique. I like when that happens because I don't want to have a specific color for a specific design. I treat that differently to weapons and armors being copy and paste. As we can see, the doors and the copper doors and the iron doors and trap doors here. We'll come through here as well. We've got the trees and leaves, some weird transparency on the leaves here. And then we've got the rest of the blocks just flying through here as well. So you can see the different art styles on this as we just go through. I don't want to travel too fast because I want you guys to be able to see it as we go. But there's birch. The transparency is not crazy when it comes to the leaves, in fairness. Like you can see there is some transparency, but it's not a lot. Not a lot at all. Let's come in here for the acacia trees. And you get that really harsh art style. I think this is really harsh. I'm not a big fan of that at all. So we come through again for the dark oak. I like that door though. That door feels very polished. We've got the mangrove over here as well as the, what is that, mycelium? Muddy mangrove roots. One day I'll learn what a block is. I like the cherry blossom tree. It's not your Barbie pink. It's more of a purpley pink on there. I like that. Again, you still got that harshness of the wood, but I like the leaves. I think the leaves look good. The pale oak getting a kind of grey green to the leaves here. And then you got that cold white. So they are having white colors in here. They've just changed bone. Bamboo on here as well. Bamboo blocks feel very warm. Interesting on that one. And then we've got the nether trees here with the crimson and some purple, almost elements of motion blur on here as well. Very difficult to look at there. And then we've got warped here as well. Good blue. That blue feels very consistent between the leaves up there, or what is that? Warped warp blocks, and then the wooden, I can't even think of the stairs and the slabs is what I'm looking for there. The color looks very consistent on that. We've got the concrete and concrete powder in here. as we pop through. Not a ton of detail going in there. It's very plain, very bland, very vibrant as we just fly it through here. And then we've got the terracotta and glazed terracottas. And the more designed the glazed terracotta is, the harder it is to see. Like a lot more motion blur in that. A lot more difficult to make out what we're dealing with here. But again, good color. Very good color. But they've stuck with those vanilla designs on that. I have to say as well, the bone block doesn't look consistent with what we saw in the skeleton and the skeleton horse. That is a more whiter, almost yellower bone than what we had with the skeleton and skeleton horse. I've added in ice, and what I thought was packed ice is now called compressed ice, and blue ice, along with snow and snow layers up there as well. And then we've got the coral blocks, dead and alive. Over here, we've got the gravel, we've got the moss, the pale moss, the mud, the bricks, all of the kind of trashy looking blocks really that I would call. So we come through here, we've got tuff down here as well for the tuff family. And we see those elements of shading just coming in more. And even for these here, motion blur, quite strong. Deep slate down here as well. It has a kind of comic-y feel to it with some of the line art. I don't know. It's like, I don't know if it's comic-y feel, old school comic-y feel. There's something about it that's got a bit of a flair to it. We've got the end stone and purple here as well. The shading coming back very prominently. And then we've got the soul sand, soul soil, nether rack, nether bricks, and red nether bricks. The red nether bricks getting a good touch of color here. I like those. Resin and quartz on there. And then the prismarine. Prismarine bricks, I think, are my favorite block that I've seen so far here. I think they're really cool. I can give or take prismarine and dark prismarine, but prismarine bricks are really cool. Andesite, diorite, and granite. I always want to call it granite, but that's just not me. And then into sand and red sand here as well. Bricks. Oh, move over. Bricks might be my favorite, actually. I really like that yellow. This captures a brick really well. Yeah, I like that. Blackstone, and is that gilded? It is. Gilded blackstone. And again, kind of getting like that old school comic-y feel to it. Where it's a bit polished, bit clean. I'm seeing motion blur here, though. I don't know if we can really call it clean. As we go for the mossy and standard stones, we got stone and smooth stone. And then we've got cobblestone and mossy cobblestone here as well for you. You can see mushroom blocks. Mushroom blocks feeling more like what bone blocks should look like, considering skeletons and stuff. But okay. Mixed in with the flowers on here as well. And then we've got the mobs. So I've expanded the mob section here just so that we can kind of see more and more as we go over. You guys can just get like a glancing view of them. We're going to have the more temperate mobs variations here as well for the hotter mobs down here. But you'll see again, faces. Faces on these mobs just not there. No eyes at all. It's very uncanny. Villagers, Iron Golem, Happy Ghast. Chucked in a witch here as well for you guys to see. I like the witch. I think the witch is cool. Get a wandering trader down here too. Though it'll probably be attacked by the witch at some point, I guess. The creeper's got a good face. That's cool. Horses, the creaking. There's a copper golem in here now. The Alayan pandas. And then, yeah, just for anybody who may not have seen it earlier. So this is how a skeleton horse looks. It doesn't feel like the same color as the bone block. And the same over here for the skeleton as well. Doesn't it? That feels a little bit redder, a little bit pinker maybe. Slime and sniffers. And then there's the rest of those there. We can also see the armors. So got very heavy shaded armor when it comes to leather. There's the copper armor here as well. Chainmail has no transparency. And the more we go through here. So copy and paste, not so much. But definitely difficult to make out details. Definitely difficult there to make out those details. And if we come up over here as well, we can see how the armor trims are all looking. They're just standard, really. Maybe a little bit bolder, but they're just standard. And you can also see the horse armors and the wolf armors here too. And then if we come through here, so we've got the hose. There's a slight bit of detailing on the wood one with the leaf. You've got the strapping on the stone one. But then after that, copy and paste really does hit in. Same again for the shovels, as you can see the paintings in the background too. Same again for the swords. They feel kind of short and stubby, but definitely copy and paste. Axes, they've all, yeah, so they've given the elements to the wood and the stone, but the ones you're more likely to use, not so much. The copper tools have been updated though. Interesting, that wasn't included in the changelog that I saw. Okay, well, I'm glad that's consistent then. We've then also got the rest of the weapons on here as well. The shield, the elytra. You can see the shelves in the background with and without. They look very vanilla. They don't look like they've been touched. And then we can chuck on a pumpkin helmet too, if I can pick that up. Thank you. Let's see how this looks. Grab that. No real surprises there. It's fine. Nothing too bad. Put that back on there. Throw that away. And then we've got the end portal. One is unlit. One is lit. Very bright blue end portal there. And then we got the nether portal. Prominent purple. And the conduit. So yeah, that's the armory section for the Flareful Texture Pack then.